Professor Dr. Karun Agrawal sir is a professor of plastic surgery at Safdarjung Hospital, New Delhi. He is editor-in-chief of Indian textbook of plastic surgery, which became a very famous textbook for all the postgraduates. He has from the beginning, he has the interest to teach and train the postgraduates, and he was also examiner for my exams. Sir, with this small introduction, this is very small, and time will not to introduce you. Lots of time is needed, and everybody knows about you. Sir, please welcome to this Plastic West. And
Thank
Dr.
you.
Anup
Thank you,
will
Dhanalakshmi.
present the case, sir.
Sure.
Dr. Anup, you please start the program.
Yes, Anup. So, Anup, this is, you have got one external, me, and two internals are there, Dr. Lakshmi and Dr. Sandeep.
Oh, chief internal is you.
Yeah. Please
External
go ahead,
is you, sir. Everybody is waiting for you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi. Please go ahead, Anup.
My patient is a 6-month-old female child presented with clefting
Your
of the lip.
audio is volume, you have to increase, Anup.
My patient is a 6-month-old female with presenting complaints of clefting of the lip since birth.
Anup, can you increase your volume? It is quite low.
1 second.
Can someone avoid annotation on the screen?
Sir. Hello. Hello. Sir, is it audible
Yes,
now?
sir. Yes, it's much better. Much better.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. My child is a full-term firstborn child to parents
Some
of
small
father.
breaking, the voice is breaking, I think.
It's a full-term firstborn child to parents age father 34 years and mother 31 years out of a consanguineous marriage. The child cried soon after birth and the birth weight was 2.5 kilograms. Soon after the birth, the parents were informed about the condition and was given counseling and feeding advice. Child was asked to be fed using a bowl and spoon in semi-reclining position. No history of nasal regurgitation, recurrent upper respiratory tract infection or ear infections. No history of any other congenital anomalies. Developmental milestones were adequately achieved. Child was immunized till date. Antenatal history. No history of any drug intake other than iron and folic acid in the antenatal period. No history of any infection or radiation exposure. Family history. The child is the first child of a consanguineous marriage. No similar condition in the parents, grandparents, or in the near family. No history of any chronic illness running in the family.
You just hold on. Shall
Okay,
we
sir.
discuss history, Dr. Sandeep and Lakshmi?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anup, if I remember, you said 6 months baby first born from parents of 31 and 34 years age.
Yes, sir.
Consanguineous.
Yes,
So
sir.
let us see each one of them. You said parents of 31 and 34 years of age. What is the significance of this age of the parents?
Sir, the chance of cleft lip when the age of the parents are more, then the chance of congenital anomalies are more, sir.
Okay. Any evidence of increased incidence of cleft in elderly parents?
Sir, more than 40 years, it is there, sir.
More than 40 years of whom? Mother or father?
Mother, sir.
Okay. Anything more about it in relation to the age of the parents other than the maternal age more than 40? Anything else is there?
So the chance of syndromic association is also more, sir. So
Yes.
in that cleft lip and cleft palate may be a part, sir.
Yes. If maternal age is very well evidence based, that if it is more than 40, the incidence is very high. And as age increases from 20 and above, the incidence increases. While
Okay, sir.
in father side, if father is elderly, the chance of cleft palate is more.
Okay,
The
sir.
evidence says, the literature says, if father's age is more, the risk of cleft palate, isolated cleft palate is more. So that's the significance of the age of the parents. Dr. Lakshmi had specifically put this age in your slides. Another thing is the consanguinity you have said. What
Yes, sir.
grade of consanguinity is this? Any idea about the consanguinity of the parents?
Sir, actually, in the history, it was just given consanguineous, sir. If the parents is there, then it is grade 1 consanguinity, sir. And if it is brothers and sisters, then it is grade 2. And
Okay.
uncles, aunts, and nephews will come grade 3, sir.
No.
First degree, second degree, third.
First
Uh,
degree, second degree, third degree, sir.
yes. Uncle and niece and auntie and you can say the nephew, that will be
Sir.
second degree. When there is a difference of the two generations or two families apart, then it becomes the third degree.
Third degree. Okay, sir.
And same pedigree, same family, then it is first degree consanguinity. Suppose brother and father, or daughter and father, and mother and son, then it is first degree consanguinity.
Okay,
So
sir.
what is the relationship of this consanguinity with the incidence of cleft, non-syndromic clefts?
Sir, when it is consanguinity is more, sir, then the chance of expression will be more, sir, in the offspring.
What do you mean by more consanguinity?
Sir, when the
Degree depends.
grade, if it is 1 or 2, so that the chances of expression will be more, sir.
Okay. Why it is more in consanguinity? Grade 1 and 2?
Sir, in cleft can be associated with, sir, autosomal dominant conditions. So like syndromic autosomal dominant conditions, sir. So when both the mother and the father are having the same genes, then the chances of expression are more.
Yes. So if there is a environmental factor or genetic factor, there will be duplication of the same factors. The risk of the incidence of any congenital anomalies, especially non-syndromic clefts, is high. There is evidence. There are many publications on this. Any publication you know of from India about this consanguinity thing?
No, sir. I don't know, sir.
Which part of the country has got more consanguinity in the
South.
southern?
South.
Yes, sir.
South.
Yes.
Southern India, sir.
So there are publications from Belgaum, there are publications from Hyderabad, there are 2-3 publications from southern part of India, which proves that consanguinity is high in that population and the incidence is relatively higher. And p-value is significant, p-value is there.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then you said firstborn. What is the significance of firstborn?
So the significance is if the one child is having cleft lip or palate, sir. So the chances of cleft lip or palate in the subsequent children is around 3 to 4%, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And if both children are having that, then for the third child, the chance is further more, sir. It is around 8 to 9%, sir. So this should be explained to the parents.
Anything related to the parity of the mother? You said firstborn, so it is related to primi gravida.
Yes, sir.
So anything related to nulliparous, primi gravida, and multiparous, anything related to the incidence of the cleft?
More.
Which is more? Where it is more? Multiparous or primi or nulliparous?
Multiparas.
No, no.
Is only okay. You are right, but multiparas has got more risk of cleft lip and palate. But cleft palate, isolated cleft palate occurs more in primary.
First.
Okay, sir.
First child,
Okay,
first
sir.
female child, the incidence of cleft palate is high. Then another thing is, you know the immunization schedule. You said immunization schedule is complete.
Yes, sir.
So 6 months baby.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell in brief what is the schedule which India follows?
Sir, at birth, BCG is given, sir.
Okay.
And at 6 weeks, 10 weeks, and 14 weeks, DPT is given, sir. Along with hepatitis B is given, sir.
Okay. But I think at the birth, apart from BCG, OPV is also given, hepatitis B is given. That's the
Yes.
schedule. But anyway, you should see. I don't remember exactly, but you can check what is the correct
Okay.
schedule.
Okay.
Then you said feeding is by cup and spoon.
Yes, sir.
Why cup and spoon for cleft lip baby? Any problem or anything else you know of? This is only
Sir,
cleft lip baby, isn't it?
yes, sir. Lip and alveolus is involved, sir.
Okay. So right from the birth, you said child was fed with bowl and spoon.
Yes, sir.
Why it was done so?
Sir, actually, we can also use, sir, feeding bottles with long nipples or cross-cut nipples, sir. Or and we can also give via the modified spoons or the Paladay also we can use, sir. Only problem
no.
with the yes, ma'am.
Actually, sir is asking, the patient is having a bilateral cleft lip. So in which conditions you ask to do ball and spoon? Is it for bilateral cleft lip?
No, if palate is involved, then this is more
Yeah,
important.
that you tell because you asked in only history, no?
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah. So why that is the question sir is asking.
Yeah, same thing. Because
Yeah.
why breastfeed was not given, and is there any difficulty in breastfeeding in cleft
Yeah.
lip babies?
Sir, in cleft lip with alveolus baby, sir, the child may not be able to suck properly, sir. So that may be the reason why the child was told to be fed in fed express milk in bowl and spoon, sir.
Why? What is required for suckling the breast?
Sir, a
Negative
negative
What is
pressure
the
pressure,
should be.
difficulty?
a negative pressure should be maintained, sir.
Okay.
Is it
So,
negative pressure or anything else?
Lip seal should be present for sucking properly.
Child has to hold the nipple, isn't it?
Okay, ma'am.
Mm.
child has to hold the nipple and press against the
Press
areolar
press
angle.
against.
So that is possible with the cleft lip. With
Okay,
little training to the mother, it is possible. Problem is the cleft palate, where these things are not possible simultaneously. The negative pressure inside the mouth is not possible to.
Okay, sir.
Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Anything else, Dr. Lakshmi and Dr. Sandeep, you would like to ask?
Yes, sir. Almost relevant things are covered.
Okay.
We'll proceed, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sir. Coming to general examination, child is active, alert, and playful. Vitals are stable. There is no pallor. Systemic examination was within normal limits. Examination of face. Face appears symmetrical bilaterally. No evidence of any syndrome association like Van der Wood syndrome or Waardenburg syndrome. On local examination, there is a bilateral discontinuity in the lip and alveolus.
Let us see your general examination.
Okay, sir.
Okay. You said child is active, alert, and playful. So a child is 6 months, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So what are the features of a child, normal child with at 6 months of age?
Sir, at 6 months, the child will be there will be child will be having a social smile will be there, and stranger anxiety will begin, sir. And second is the child will be able to sit with support, sir.
Okay, that's right. What about the
Yes.
speech and any facial
So
activities?
monosyllables will start at 6 months, sir.
Is it monosyllables or something else we call? Monosyllables will be after 7-8 months.
Cooing sound will be produced.
I'll come to cooing later. Cooing is much earlier. This at 6 months, this will be pre-babbling sound.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so child will laugh and it will have the babbling sounds. It is almost like pre-babbling, and they are able to find objects which are partially hidden. They will be able to sit. They will able to play. They will have to transfer from one hand to the other. What about
Okay,
the? See, normally we operate child at 3 months now, left lip.
yes, sir.
So when you say a normal milestone, what will be the milestones at 3 months of age?
Sir, the 3 months there will be social smile will be there, sir, and there will be neck holding will be there, sir.
Okay. Anything else? As I said, cooing will be there. The child
Yes, sir.
will
Cooing.
smile,
Yes, sir.
child will respond, isn't it? And child will take hands to the mouth and start taking all the objects around him or her to the mouth. So these are 3 months. So that is there. Okay. What are vitals you are supposed to examine? I know you got only the slides, but
Yes,
what
sir.
are the vitals you will like to examine to the child, in the child, whenever you are examining?
Sir, one is whether the one is I would need to assess whether the airway is adequate, sir, and also whether the pulse rate, sir. That's all.
Mhm. Okay. Anything else for surgery point of view? Anything you would like to examine? You like to
Any
examine the
other system
nutrition?
you will
Respiratory system, sir, and
Mhm. You have to do general examination like any other examination. You have to do pulse, you have to do the respiratory
sir.
examination. Okay. The body weight you have to see, you have to see the
Okay, sir.
nutrition. What is the importance of body weight in cleft children?
Sir, actually, the growth of the child we have to monitor, sir. It will help us to understand whether the nutrition is adequate, sir. Whether the child
Okay.
is progressively gaining weight.
Mhm.
And second thing is, sir, if in cleft lip and palate children, sir, when there are multiple recurrent episodes of infections, that can also adversely affect the weight gain of the child, sir.
Okay, that is there. Which type of chart we should follow? Normally, we are supposed to follow for weight gain and nutrition of the child. Any chart you know of? Nutrition chart?
So, a growth chart
What
by,
growth chart? You're right, growth
sorry,
chart, but something else is there before growth chart. We should examine
sir,
the, we should follow.
road to hell charts.
No, that is WHO growth chart or Indian Association of Pediatricians. That growth chart we can use. That is
Okay, sir.
different for boys and girls, and we
Okay,
should
sir.
follow the growth chart. What are the important parameters from surgery point of view in cleft? Right.
Sir,
Right.
one is the weight of the child, sir.
Okay.
Second is hemoglobin should be more than 10.
Mhm.
Then the total count should be less than 10,000, sir.
Mhm.
Then the surgery, usually the surgery is done after 10 weeks, sir.
Mhm. So this is triad of 10.
Yes, sir.
yes.
Who popularized this? Any idea?
Millard, sir.
No, not Millard. Millard much before Millard's. He is the one who also gave some of the principles of cleft lip repair. The second part of cleft lip repair principles.
Musgrave, sir.
Yes, Musgrave. This is a Musgrave's triad. This is a
Okay,
rule
sir.
of 10, which we may follow, we may not follow now, but that's the Musgrave's triad. 10
Okay, sir.
gram hemoglobin, 10 pounds weight, and what else? 10 weeks of
10 weeks.
age. Okay. Then about the systemic examination, or you have said normal,
Yes, sir.
isn't it? So what
Yes,
are
sir.
the things we are supposed to examine, and why it should be examined in clefts?
Sir, one is the cardiac examination, sir. We should examine for any murmurs
Mhm.
because in cleft palate, the syndromic association, it can be present with cardiac anomalies, sir.
Mhm. How, any incidents you know of?
Sir,
Cardiac anomalies?
in cleft palate, 50% may be associated with syndromic cleft, sir, and that around 10 to 15% associated with cardiac anomalies.
It's too high. 50% is too high. But
15, sir, 1 5.
oh yes, actually, overall the number of cleft in association with cardiac anomaly is 17%.
Okay, sir.
That's the publications, but it ranges between 7 to 17% in different publications. Which type of
Okay, sir.
congenital anomaly is common in heart along with cleft?
Sir, septal defects will be there, sir. And
Yes. So VSD and ASD are the common cardiac anomalies. So how it is important to know cardiac anomalies in cleft? Why
sir,
it is
if
important?
Sir, if there are cardiac anomalies, then we should take prior precautions for the surgery, sir. Even we need to assess whether that is that is causing more problem than the cleft. Then we need to proceed with the cardiac management for the cardiac defect first, then proceed with the surgery for the cleft lip and palate.
Mhm. Okay. Anything else other than the surgery point of view?
So the weight gain of the child may be low because of the cardiac problem also, sir.
Yes.
That is there. And then classification wise, it becomes syndromic. The moment you have any other anomaly other than the craniofacial cleft or the facial cleft, then it becomes syndromic group. It has entirely different protocol than non-syndromic.
Okay, sir.
When you do not have any associated anomalies other than cleft, then it is non-syndromic.
Okay, sir.
So non-syndromic has got different protocols and syndromics have got different protocol. What are the other anomalies you look for in your initial examination other than the cardiac anomalies?
Sir, particularly for cleft lip, I'll be looking for Vanderwood syndrome and Waardenburg syndrome, sir. In
What is
that,
von Leber syndrome?
Vanderwood syndrome is an autosomal dominant condition, sir. It will be present with cleft lip and lower lip pitch, sir.
Left lip and lower lip pits. That is von Leber
Yes, sir.
syndrome. What is essential between two? And what is obligatory and what is essential feature
Sir, in
of von Leber syndrome?
Waardenburg syndrome, there is a white forelock of hair, sir, and there will be multiple patches of white skin and heterochromia will be present, sir.
Mhm. What makes syndrome in von Leber syndrome? Which feature makes it a von Leber syndrome? Left lip with pits or only cleft lip?
Lip pitch,
Fits.
sir.
What?
Lip pitch, sir.
Yes, you can have only lip pits without any cleft. Still, it will be von Leber syndrome.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so cleft lip has been seen associated with lip pits. What is the difference between the genetic cause amongst the non-syndromic cleft and von Leber syndrome? Any difference in the genetic profile?
Sir, there is mutation in IRF6 factor, sir. IRF6, sir,
Mhm.
in Vanderwood syndrome.
Very good, very good. So IRF6 has been prominently have been found to be associated with von Leber syndrome, and this is a autosomal dominant.
Yes, sir.
While in non-syndromic cleft, it is autosomal recessive. So that's the difference. That's why it occurs in family, and in the same family you can have multiple family members with lip pits with or without cleft.
Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt, sir. Actually, this session will expire in 3 minutes. We just have to log back in through the same ID that we sent you. That's
Okay.
it. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. What are the other genes which are supposed to be associated with clefts other than IRF6?
Sir, one is
There are many of-
PBX22, sir.
Okay.
Then there is MSX once. Then there is NADH dehydrogenase mutation, sir.
Okay. There are many of them. Actually,
Sir.
not a single gene has been supposed to cause in all cases. So different regions have got, different races have got different genetic factors which are involved. That's a problem of cleft, that we are not able to find a specific gene to take care. Anything else, Dr. Lakshmi?
Yes, sir. We can
Shall we-
proceed, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
we can
sir.
proceed.
Sandeep wants to ask anything?
Oh, no, madam, please proceed. Please proceed. I'm just listening. Please proceed. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Coming to examination of face, face appears symmetrical bilaterally, and there is no evidence of any syndrome like Van der Waals syndrome, Waardenburg syndrome, etc.
Mhm.
On local examination, there is bilateral discontinuity in the lip and alveolus.
Okay.
Can proceed, Anu.
Coming to examination of upper lip, there is a discontinuity of the lip and white roll on right and left side. The protrusion of premaxilla and prolabium is present with a slight turn to the right. There is no well-formed Cupid's bow, philtral column, philtral groove in the prolabium. Prolabial vermilion is deficient. Prolabial gingivobuccal sulcus is shallow. The vermilion and white roll on the lateral elements show obliquity with gradual thinning. There is bunching up of muscles in the lateral lip elements.
Mhm. Okay.
Sir, finish the examination of lips. Sir. Now I'll move to nose.
Okay. Mhm.
Nose is flat and flared with absent nasal floor. The nasal tip is broad, depressed, and flat. Columella appears short. The medial crura are short and widely separated at the tip. The lateral crura are flat, and elongated. Alar base is displaced laterally and inferiorly, and the nostrils are horizontally oriented.
Mhm. Nostrils are horizontally oriented. Can you show
Sir-
the picture from below?
Sir, I don't have
Not
a
available.
picture from below, sir.
Okay.
This one is there, sir.
Can you tell me it is horizontal?
Sir, usually, sir,
Go ahead.
sir, usually the nostril will be like